Now on to Mary Claire and Blaine on What's Happening.
Welcome to What's Happening. I'm Blaine Chaperon.
And I'm Mary Claire Rodham.
Every now and then, we all like to go do something fun.
One of these things just happens to include the CHS Miss Panther Profile Pageant. This is especially fun for all of the ladies who enjoy doing it.
This year, our pageant will be held on February 17th at 6 p.m.
This is such an amazing opportunity for all of our lovely ladies to dress up and have the time of their life.
Though this is a fun time, there are a few rules that need to be followed.
One of these rules is dress code. Make sure that your dress is age appropriate, no high slits, and definitely no plunging back or necklines.
To see any other rules, please pick up a packet from the library.
Speaking of packets, they are due February 3rd.
Mock interviews will be held February 16th at 6 p.m.
This is not required, but it is highly encouraged.
Now on to Paxton and Jake to talk about sports.
Welcome to CPN Sports Center. I'm Paxton Dutton and I'm here with Jake Thompson. So today we're going to be talking about the massive turnaround for the varsity girls basketball team between last season and this season. Last season they were winless. They went 0-21. They really struggled. They did have their ups, but a lot of downs as well. And this season, Coach Harrison has gotten her first win and she didn't stop there. The girls have won 5 more games so far than they did last year and they still have a lot of season left to play. Jake, why don't you tell us about some of the big things coming up with their season?
So next week we'll start in the county tournament, and in 3 weeks we'll start in the area tournament. So we are really hoping to get some quality wins those 2 weeks.
Yeah, so now let's send it off to Blaine, and maybe he can talk to some of the girls' basketball team and listen to their season hopes.
I'm Blaine Chaperon, and I'm interviewing girls basketball people. I'm here with Mary Claire. How do you feel about this year's turnaround from last year?
It's definitely a better season than it was last year. We've had our ups and downs this year, but overall, it's definitely better.
How many points do you think you've scored this season?
Definitely 1,000.
I'm here with Aaliyah. How does it make you feel it's your senior year of basketball?
It's sad, but it's my favorite sport, so I'm
Thank
not
you.
ready for it to end.
Thank you. I'm here with Tori. What's your favorite part of basketball?
Probably screaming at the blind refs on the sideline. So, it's a very good anger management.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now on to Micah and Owen to give us some tips on the ACT.
Welcome to this week's special segment, where Micah and I will be covering ACT Prep. Understandably, the ACT is very stressful for many juniors. After all, it is a nearly 4-hour test. But with these tips and tricks, we hope that we can make the ACT just a little more bearable for you. To start off, with science, don't forget to read and reread your graphs and tables. They'll contain all the answers you'll need for the science portion. Don't let technical jargon overwhelm you, and know your units of measurement and, importantly, how to convert between them. For extra ACT science help, be sure and see Coach Chaperon.
Now on to this math portion. So in the math portion, there are 5 answers per question. So you really want to make sure that you mark out the ones that are just no way right, and then make an educated guess based from there. Then you want to make sure before the test, you review all of the formulas that could potentially be useful for you, and make sure you know how to use them, because generally they'll give you the formula, but if you don't know how to use it, it's really worthless to you. And finally, make sure for the word problems that you draw the picture and really pay attention to what it's asking for, because they really want to distract you with useless information. For bonus tips and tricks and a little bit of help, be sure to see Mr. Salamoni or Mr. Young.
Now on to reading. Practice skimming over articles and remember keywords. This will help you immensely when you're answering the questions. Remember where their articles cover certain topics, and practice speed reading. For extra reading help, be sure and see Coach Rogers.
Now finally for the English section, which actually comes first in the ACT. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you read all of the available answer selections, and then generally the one that feels the most natural is the correct answer. Next, you want to make sure that you review all your grammar rules, including the commas, colons, and semicolons, because those are very abundant in the English portion. Finally, make sure you read your answer that you selected in the context of the paragraph, making sure it still flows nicely and sounds correct. For extra English help, be sure to see Miss Rivers.
Next, we'd like to move on to some general ACT tips. First of all, bring a mechanical watch if you can. It'll help you keep time.
Also remember to set a pace before you get there and try to keep to it using the watch that you bring.
Right. And remember, you really need to relax and focus on the test right before you take it.
That being said, it's very helpful to get plenty of sleep the night before. That way you're able to stay awake and focus and concentrate.
Indeed, and another important aspect is to stay hydrated. And don't forget to eat something for breakfast. But don't eat sugary cereal. It won't do you any favors.
And as redundant as it might sound, it's also really important to just take a deep breath right before the test. And a little bit of self-confidence never hurts.
Right. This helps you to concentrate on the test and allows you to do your best. Your ACT score can really help you earn money that'll help pay for your college.
With that being said, you can actually, if you make a 25 or higher on the ACT, you can actually get $1,500 in scholarship money.
Indeed, and if you score 27 or higher, you can be eligible for a full tuition scholarship to Wallace State Community College. That means that you wouldn't have to pay for a single class that you take. I hope that these tips are really helpful for you, and remember, don't stress. Thank you.